The next set of slides describes the assignment for Module 4. The assignment is divided up into three different sections, 4A, 4B, and 4C. And assignment 4A deals specifically with the selection of core health indicators, as well as some criteria that might be considered in selecting core health indicators for a community health profile. There is a attached file that has instructions and some questions for assignment number 4. These include a review of some of the reading material and identification of criteria that were suggested by the Institute of Medicine for selecting core health indicators. Once the student has read the material, each student is then responsible for selecting a set of core indicators for the community health profile to be developed during the course. Again, this should be a group probably of 10 to 15 or so core health indicators. These will be, they can be derived from various sources. Previous sets of slides have talked about some examples of indicators. But each student will then, once the student has selected the indicators, those will be submitted by the student to his or her small group for discussion. And this particular assignment is due by 9 p.m. on Friday, January 31st. Assignment 4B, to be completed after assignment 4A, is to review core indicators and develop a consensus set of indicators for each small group. So each of the small groups, the members of those small groups will have access to the set of indicators developed by each member of the small group, and each of the last person of the small group who in fact submits his or her indicators to the small group discussion board is responsible for actually compiling all of the lists from the other students. There'll probably be somewhere between 3 and 5 sets of indicators that are developed depending on the number of members in your small group. But this student will put together the list of indicators into one single list and will also indicate for those indicators that were picked by more than one student how many students picked those. So for example, if the infant mortality rate was picked by 3 students, and that'll just be indicated as having 3, whereas, for example, there might be household median income, only 1 student may have picked that, so that would be indicated as only a 1 person. So that will be compiled by this one student and then posted on the small group discussion board. Then, using this list of compiled indicators, each member of the small group should post at least one comment about the compiled list, indicating positive or negative comments about the indicators. Then the entire group, based on these comments and any other interactions among members of the group, should actually select a final set of 10 to 15 core indicators and submit that via Blackboard to the course instructor by 9 p.m. on Sunday, February the 2nd. The final part of assignment 4B is the responsibility of the instructor, not of the students. The instructors will compile the core indicator sets submitted by all of the small groups, look at those indicators to determine whether there's a good mix of indicators. Also, they will keep in mind whether or not data can be found for the indicators, which is an important factor. And the instructors will select a final set of core indicators That will then be used by all students as they develop their community health profile in weeks 5 and 6 and 7 of the course. The instructors will post the final core set of indicators on Blackboard by noon Wednesday, February 5th, so that they will be available for the students for Module 5 in the course. Assignment 4C. This is similar to the assignments in the previous modules. Please post on the discussion board 2 things in this assignment, in the discussion during this module, or in the readings that you would like to hear more about or have clarified, and describe something that was presented or that you read in Module 4 that you thought was interesting or that you learned. And this is due by 9 p.m. on Sunday, February 2nd. And that is the end of assignment number 4 for the course.